Today we're making the most adorable small air dry clay bowl. And then at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you some fun ways you can decorate with it, or you can give it as a gift. Hi, my name is Linda with Life on Summer Hill. And if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. So let's get started making this sweet and easy to make little bowl. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your air dry clay and you're going to start warming it up in your hand like so. And I just keep going back and forth and rolling it in a ball and just getting it nice and warm, and I'm trying to get a lot of those marks out of it. Okay, so once I kind of get it warmed up, I'm gonna put it down on the paper, and then I just start using this part of my hand and I start pushing it out from the middle until I get a big enough size for my cookie cutter. Get it kind of patted out a little ways, I will take my dowel and I'll start working from the middle, and I'll move the dough, I'll move the clay outward as I work. And then once I get the clay moved out on one side, I'll turn it and work from the other side. So I'm gonna keep working until I get it smoothed out to in between 1/4 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. Now once I get it down to the thickness I want, I'm just going to take and roll my dowel back and forth until I smooth it out. And then I'm gonna check and see if I sit my cookie cutter on here and it's nice and even. So like this part over here, you can tell by looking at it, there's a divot there and I don't want that divot. So I'm just gonna lay this on to a nice smooth area and I'll press it down. Once I feel like it's down into the clay at where it's touching the paper, I'll move this back and forth very carefully just to kind of make sure it's sliced down in there. Now after I have it sliced, I'm gonna lift up my cookie cutter and pull it out like so. Now I'll remove the excess around the edge. And I'll toss the excess back into my air dry clay bowl. Now I have a heart shape, so I'm gonna lift it up very carefully and I'm gonna look at the edges. And I'm gonna take my finger and I'm just gonna smooth out these edges. Now if your edges are real rough and you really want them to be nice and smooth, you can simply take a little bit of water on your finger and you can smooth it out. Now here's a little spot that I didn't care for how it turned out, so I'm just going to take and use my fingernail just to remove that little piece. You can use a knife on this to remove it, and then I just add a little bit of water to it. Okay, so for the next step, we're gonna add a texture to the heart, and to do that, you'll need a loose weave fabric. Basically, you're going to lay the fabric flat on top of the clay, and then you're going to start off of it, and once you get on top of it, you're gonna give it a little bit of pressure, just a little bit, and you're gonna roll this over it, making sure that it's nice and flat and that it's getting the edges too. You don't wanna press too hard because remember, you don't wanna lose the shape of your heart. Then you're gonna lift it up and you're gonna look and see I have areas here that still need it, so I need to put more pressure over here on the sides. Okay, so after you finish working on the pattern, you gently lift it up, you check to make sure it's the way you want it. Then you're going to lift up the heart, place a bowl down, and you're gonna dust the bowl with some flour. So after you've dusted the bowl with a little bit of flour, place it on this bowl and start maneuvering it down around the bowl. And to do that, I just gently work a little at a time, pushing it down around the bowl. Now you can do this project with a round shape. You can do any shapes you want. So now that I've got it all the way down around the bowl, and as you can see, it's sitting flat up against the bowl all the way around. Then you're going to let this dry for 2 to 3 days. And it depends upon how thick your bowl is as to how long it will need to dry. Now our heart is completely dry. So you just gently take it off of the bowl and put the bowl off to the side. Then you're gonna take a dry paper towel or just something to dust all of that flour off of it, because you wanna make sure all the flour is completely gone before you paint it. So now we're gonna take some paint. You can use acrylic paint. You can use, I'm using actual wall paint by Sherwin Williams, and this color is Agreeable Gray. So you can use any kind of paint to paint this little bowl. So all I'm doing here is I'm just gonna get some paint on my brush, and I'm gonna start probably moving in one direction. So I'm gonna start like around this side over here and paint, but I'm not gonna get it along the edge. I wanna leave the edge unpainted, so I'm gonna carefully run my paint across it like so. So I painted the inside, but I left the edge unfinished, and I'm leaving the bottom unfinished because I like the subtle contrast in between the two. And if you're wondering why I have paint in this tiny little jar, I actually have another post where I share some of my favorite Dollar Tree handyman tools, and I use these little jars to put paint in for different rooms in my house, so that if I touch up a hole or if something happens to a wall, I just take a little artist brush and touch it up. So I'll put a link to that on this video so you can go check out my favorite handyman tools. Okay, so we're gonna let this dry, and then we're gonna go style it, and I'll give you some ideas on different ways you can decorate with this cute little Valentine heart-shaped clay bowl. So what did you think? Are you ready to give this project a try? I promise it's super easy, and kids can even help make these cute little bowls. So here are some great ideas on how to decorate with your adorable heart-shaped bowl. You can place it in the bathroom where people can put jewelry in it, or you can place it on a table and put some beautiful Valentine candies in it, like these adorable heart-shaped candies. Or you can put some bigger candies like these Ferrero Rocher candies. So I hope you've enjoyed all of these decorating ideas with your adorable heart-shaped bowl, and I hope you'll give this project a try. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out, and please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this project. I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you soon.